All right. Well, hey, everybody, and welcome to the Oscars 2017. Of course, it's Oscar night. Now, a little bit earlier, we did our pre-show where we did all of our predictions as well. But just so you guys know, we got the whole crew here tonight. There's a whole bunch of people here on camera. Schnepp's head's being half covered by a graphic. And of course, we got all the crews here as well, behind the cameras as well. And what we're going to be doing tonight, just so you know, is this live stream is going to be running and going live the entire Oscars. Now, we're not always going to be here in front of the camera, but every commercial break, a number of us, maybe you, me, Mark, Schnepp, Jeremy, Wendy, Perry, whoever, a bunch of us are going to run in here every single commercial break to talk about what just happened. We got the stream of the Oscar red carpet going on here. We know they're getting close to starting. So, Dennis, what are you looking forward to tonight? What do you think are going to be some of the surprises?
I'm hoping to see some surprises this Oscars, just because everyone's been talking about La La Land the whole time. I'm actually excited to see maybe a few upsets.
Moonlight Rogas, Jeremy, I think my biggest surprise is, are you still going to be sober by the end of the night? Or?
No.
No, okay, no. So that surprise is gone. Yeah, so make sure you're joining us. Keep that laptop open beside you. So from our family here to your family, let's enjoy the Oscars together, and we'll be back on the first commercial break of the Oscars. Keep your laptop open. We'll talk to you soon.
rolling away.
All right, we just ran a first commercial break. I got Jeremy, Mark, and Perry for the first round. How'd Jimmy Kimmel do so far, guys?
Well, y'all see that Daytona 500 today? That was good. And then Jimmy Kimmel was even better. I thought Kimmel was fantastic. He got a little too, I thought he hit the horse over the head one too many times with the a movie nobody's seen, but he got it back with the Meryl Streep thing, which I thought was a great closer. And that
Meryl
opening
Streep thing was great.
by my doppelganger, Justin Timberlake, that was a nice way to open the Oscars.
The not having seen it is kind of the running joke of
Right.
this Oscar ceremony, though. You look at those movies, and none of them are the Mad Max of this year. Most of those, other than La La Land, how many people really have seen those? So it's kind of a fair play.
Jeremy?
That's a really good point. I remember Hugh Jackman, and I think it was 2009 Oscars for the 2008 movies. He was like, I've never seen The Reader, and it's always a fun thing. I'm glad he did that. I love the fact that his monologue wasn't divisive. He hit the political spectrum. He hit the social spectrum. He didn't divide anybody. All the jokes were funny, and they totally landed. Dude's doing a great job so far.
Well, I mean, it was probably a little bit divisive. I mean,
don't think it was. I really don't think it was.
But let's talk about the first award given out. It is tradition. Best Supporting Actor goes out. Ali does take it. My guy Dev Patel didn't get it this time, but that's fine. I know you're very happy for it.
I'm very happy, one, because I'm 1 for 1 now, and also because he deserved it. Moonlight is excellent, and he basically said it in his speech. Anybody
Great
from
speech.
that movie could have been up there holding that trophy. Every performance in that movie is incredible, and I just love seeing actors get up there when they're just so humble and overwhelmed. He had tears in his eyes. I had tears in my eyes.
The one thing from his speech that was really cool,
Yeah.
he said, my teachers taught me you are a servant to the
Right.
story. I thought that was beautiful.
And I believe he won the Critics' Choice Awards, and he got a lot more political in his speech than he did tonight. Tonight was all about celebrating the movie Moonlight, and there's no way they're going to cut you off with the orchestra if you just mentioned that your wife gave birth
4 days ago.
4 days ago. Jeremy leaned over right after he said that, and Jeremy's like, that guy's never getting a good night of sleep again, but he can sleep well tonight.
And
He
you know
earned
what?
it.
To start off with the Justin Timberlake piece was actually, it was very different, but it started everything up with a high energy level.
Woke everybody up in the
Yeah.
crowd. If I'm hosting the Oscars, I want something like that to open because it gets everybody loose to laugh at the jokes.
And then he didn't wait. He dove right in with the Matt Damon stuff. What do you think about the Matt Damon stuff?
I love that. I love that when a personal joke and a friendly joke can become. You can let everyone in on your private joke in the Oscars. As for Ali's win, I'm also 1 for 1 right there because I saw the first few episodes of Luke Cage before I moved here. I was like, if he brings that intensity, he's going to win the Oscar. That's coming from someone who has not seen Moonlight. I voted for him.
Look, I think the takeaway from early on in the Oscars is that Jeremy, Mark, and Perry are beating John Campea in the Oscar pool right now.
Yeah, I picked Dev Patel. But so here's what's going to happen. So I think we all liked the opening. We thought Kimmel's
yeah.
off to a good
Absolutely.
strong
I
start.
didn't think I was going to like that Justin Timberlake opening because I wanted something of the caliber of the La La Land one from the Golden Globes, but that was actually the perfect way to get everybody up and dancing together and just the right kind of energy.
Now, we will be back, of course, on the next commercial break here. Make sure you come on back and join us. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Join us through the entire night of the Oscars as we're going to have a different combinations of us running in here to talk. We'll see you back again here in a couple of minutes. We're going back.
Rub and coat.
All right, guys, and we are back. All right, a couple of big ones.
Oh,
Ladies
I'm
and
sliding.
gentlemen, your Academy Award-winning film, The Suicide Squad.
Jesus.
Unbelievable.
Jesus, Lord.
Okay, but hold a second. Really, remember, these are not awards to go to the best movie that had makeup. And the makeup in Suicide Squad was great.
But
Only
not-
one of those
not
nominated
better than
films had a
Star Trek.
crocodile. Okay, they had a crocodile that
Killer
talked.
Croc. Killer Croc.
He was a killer. He was a crocodile that killed, and he deserves a statue.
I honestly
right.
feel like Star Trek got robbed. I mean, you're looking at
It was great. Star Trek makeup was great.
face paint makeup for the Joker and Harley Quinn, and eye makeup. The only big makeup I really saw, like the makeup job, was Killer Croc.
Well, I mean, the way
Well, the Enchantress when she was all like, you know,
and
like
Diablo
the
looked
spooky- yeah,
the
Diablo looked
way they
great.
did his stuff up and everything else through it. But look, the first nomination for La La Land was in Best Costuming. I didn't think it would win Best Costuming because the costuming was very good. But Mark, you had some interesting thoughts about that.
As a sportsman, John, I think it could be an indicator as to how the night's going to go, because sometimes you see movies build up momentum early in the Oscars and they start to win those little awards, and it's like, oh, is it going to break the record? Is it not? A lot of times voters just love voting for the same movie if they really are passionate about it. La La Land missed in its first attempt. Now it could get it right back and go on a run here, but I think it could be an indication that La La Land is going to get a handful of Oscars, but not a record-breaking night.
Schnepp, anything stand out to you about either the costuming or the makeup awards?
I was personally hoping Star Trek Beyond won, but I mean Suicide Squad equally well done makeup. So I mean it does deserve what it got. I'm really glad that Colleen Atwood. This is her fourth Oscar, and
Yeah,
she's
crazy,
great.
yeah.
She's amazing. So I had that one in the bag. I was like, she's gonna win because she is a master.
And a Harry Potter world film has got an Academy Award.
So happy, and I didn't actually even know that it was Colleen Atwood. So when I saw her name, I was like, oh, this is she's got it.
Done
This
deal,
is
it's a
her
wrap.
fourth one, and I love all the costuming, and especially I was kind of hoping La La Land wouldn't get this one. Not saying that it's not good. It's just that it's modern, and I felt like Fantastic Beasts had actual like design.
If you made me be a costume designer for one of these movies, the biggest headache would have been Fantastic Beasts. So
I mean, well, because it's also a period piece, it's every single character in the movie has to have a very specific design to fit in with that time period, whether it's New York or the people from London, then you got the magical world all in there too. And really, when you think about it, it kind of really does make sense, right? That it wins this.
it's a lot of rummaging through thrift stores to get those period pieces. I want no part of it. Can I say this? I'm not a regular reviewer of Saturday Night Live, but from what I've seen with Kate McKinnon and her presentation with Jason Bateman tonight, she is hilarious,
Yeah.
man.
I think the show is on a really nice roll.
Oh, yeah.
But I agree with you, Mark. I believe this is going to be, and I kind of mentioned this in the pre-show as well, I believe this is going to be a pattern for the night, that a lot of these, what we consider to be smaller categories, when really they're monumentously huge, all of them are, but these smaller categories, I think you're going to see the ones that, you know, for the 14 nominations that La La Land has, I think it's going to lose a lot of these. And so, like, I still don't think it's going to touch that big number 11 that is the record right now.
I think it's gonna walk away with 10. I mean, it's gonna get pretty close to 11. I
Well,
think.
it's got 13 nominations left, so it's 0 for 1 right now. So it's got to pull out 10 of the remaining 13.
And when last I was on this panel, I had 1 point in our Oscar pool, and after that last segment, I still have 1 point.
I
in
have
our
one
Oscar
point as
pool.
well.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody's 3 for 3 right now.
Nobody saw Suicide Squad.
Hey, guys,
I don't think anybody saw
not
Suicide
to
Squad.
brag, but I totally have 2 points out of the 3.
Do you?
Oh,
Yes.
boy, Mr. Pasadena Comic-Con over here.
Somebody tweeted into us when Suicide Squad won the Academy Awards. Suck it, Marvel.
Good.
So there you go. So all right, guys, we've got another segment coming up here for the Oscars. Hang with us all night. We'll be right back on the next commercial break. Thanks, guys.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
What's up?
Roka's coming.
Hi, guys.
Sit
Watch
over
this.
here.
3,
We're
2,
live. This
1.
is really
Roka.
organized.
Roka.
Let's go.
Roka, take it away. Go.
All right, what an
Say
amazing documentary. Like the documentary category was stocked with so many fantastic films. It was really difficult to choose one. The fact that they chose the almost 7-hour documentary as the winner is surprising.
It's a 5-part movie that
Yeah.
I've watched through twice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All 7 hours. That is by far the best achievement, maybe in filmmaking this year, as
Wow.
far as what I've seen. They show you footage
Yeah.
from the murders, from everything, things that you haven't seen before ever.
Yeah.
It's a very disturbing documentary.
13th is really good too.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
kind of rooting for Ava DuVernay for a little while, and then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, I gotta make time to watch OJ, and I only blocked off a couple hours.
Yeah.
So eventually I had to, I don't know, go to work or whatever, and I'm like, oh
Or whatever.
no, I need
Yeah.
to watch all 7 hours of this
Yeah.
thing.
It's a lot.
It hooks you so well.
Yeah, that's good, Jerry.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes of that thing, I was like, all right, I want to see what it is. Boom, watch the intro. I was like, I'm hooked. I got to come back to it. And then before I know it, the Oscars. But anyone who has watched it says it's not only the best documentary they've seen, it's one of the best pictures they've seen, period.
Yeah.
And that's the big surprise, that it's not up for best picture, but best documentary.
And what a beautiful thing too, and talking about 13th, is that streaming services like Amazon, like Netflix, are getting these documentaries out to more and more people.
Yeah.
And in past years, before these services, you didn't see a lot of these movies. When they would nominate, you'd be like, I don't get the documentary category because nobody had seen the movie.
Right, you have to make more of an effort to go to like that smaller theater way on the edge of town to see those documentaries that we're showing. But Netflix and now Amazon, they're all, and Hulu, they're all streaming these documentaries, which is great to watch. I do want to give a shout out to I Am Not Your Negro. I saw that last week. It is fantastic. Still prescient, still topical. The stuff that James Baldwin was talking about in the 60s still applies to us now in 2017. It's really powerful stuff. It's only 90 minutes long, and Samuel Jackson does a great job doing the voiceover of James Baldwin in certain moments. It's just great work all around.
And that performance was one heck of a
Oh, yeah.
performance too.
Oh, yeah,
girl
the,
is
the
16.
Moana,
Everyone
yeah,
out
16.
there knows I'm rooting for La La Land, but when you see her perform that on stage,
Yeah.
it's hard not to
is
be rooting
incredible.
for her a little.
I get, she mentions you mentioned Ali is actually going to be the girl who sings and stars Moana. She's actually going to be here in the Movie Talk studios on
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's gonna be here. So make sure you're watching us on Tuesday because maybe I can even crack out the guitar and get her to sing it. That'd be
Whoa.
great.
I'm gonna have to skip
We
leg
can get
day and come
John's
on down
YouTube
here for
band
that
back
because she's
together.
amazing. I'm not gonna lie, because we have the betting pool going, and I was like, Wendy, I changed my vote to that song because when you hear it, you can't help it. It's great music this year.
And let's give some props to The Rock's tuxedo.
Hello.
It was a crushed blue velvet.
That's a blue suede
George-
rock, my friend.
I didn't
It's
know
a
you
George
could make it that
Costanza
size.
special.
I had been
Yeah,
hoping that he was gonna sing "You're Welcome," but then when you hear him sing his little
Yeah.
bit, and then you see her, it's like, oh, she's incredible.
Yeah, all right.
right,
Well,
we're back.
That's
yeah,
it.
thanks everybody for watching
Oh
us.
my
We'll be
God,
back
it's
at the next
on.
commercial break.
Bye, guys.
Bye, love it.
Matter. All right, guys.
Hello.
So it is official. Like, just keep in mind, La La Land has now been nominated for 3 awards tonight. It is 0 for 3. So if you are keeping score, Suicide Squad 1 Academy Award, La La Land 0. We just saw sound editing and sound mixing.
Yes.
I've got no complaints
No, me neither.
about either of the winners. As a matter of fact, I'm thrilled that the sound mix went to Hacksaw Ridge. When you look at that movie and all the sound design and mix of it were just breathtaking. Any surprises for you guys? Mark?
Apparently, John, you didn't see 13 Hours. Great movie, but I'm happy it was nominated. Yeah, I can't really complain because, to be honest, I don't really understand like what goes into who watches Rogue One and Hacksaw Ridge and is like, oh yeah, that sound mixing was better than that sound mixing. It seems like it's a little bit of an objective choice where, okay, either one could have won. Maybe they liked Hacksaw Ridge, the movie, a little bit better, and that's what gets it to overtime.
You know, I feel like they're voted on by sound people, Mark. Sound people.
I don't trust the people,
The people
with
who
sound.
do the mixing and that.
But I will say this: usually in the Oscars, I've just noticed this pattern where a movie will sweep a lot. This movie, nothing is sweeping. It's really like this movie has that movie has that movie has that movie has that. It's very all over the place, and for me, it feels like a very legit Oscar year. It's a very I don't know what's going to win in the overall Oscars or what's going to.
There's a lot of parity right now, and like we said earlier, La La Land didn't get that first one, and I'm not saying that's why it hasn't won anything since, but all of a sudden we're starting to look, and it's not going to break the record anymore.
Well, as of right now, La La Land could, if it sweeps the rest of the awards it's nominated for, it could still tie. But if it loses one more, it cannot tie.
I was going to say, I'm very happy that one of your favorite films, Arrival, actually won an Oscar. So me and Jeremy are happy. Anyway, I actually voted for Rogue One, so now I'm probably lost in the pool or whatever.
Dude, I'm like 1 for 9 now.
You know, because I was trying to I think what I did, what a lot of the other people voted for, like give a little bit to everybody, like share the flavor. But I was wrong. So what? We're all here. We're having fun. I'm glad Arrival won. I'm glad Hacksaw Ridge won.
And for those of you who are a little bit confused about what is the difference between sound editing and sound mixing, sound editing is kind of like the sound design. It's like creating the sounds, like which sounds you hear and all that kind of stuff goes in there. Sound mixing is then taking those 58 layers of sound and properly balancing them out to give the best presentation of it. And when you think of it in those terms, I mean, Hacksaw Ridge, but 13 Hours also, you could have made an argument for it. Actually, every single film that got nominated there had a legit shot at it. So, I mean, it's so far so good. I mean, look, makeup went to Suicide Squad. It deserved it for makeup and makeup alone. Sound design or sound editing went to Arrival. Guess what? Arrival deserved it. The sound design of that film is fantastic. It's one of the better things in it. So I've got no complaints at all.
It's amazing how long doing these kinds of things. A lot of people don't take that into consideration, how much mixing and sound design, actually, how many months it takes to just score. It's like doing the musical score, but then after it's done with everybody's sound design and doors opening, feet walking, like what do we bring forward? What do we bring back? What do you pull? When you're doing 5.1 mixing, that's the entire, surround sound
and more.
It's very, very complicated.
And really, since the holidays, when we all had time to decompress from all the Oscar rush of movies, and we got to sit back and say, what is this Academy Awards going to bring us? It's that there's a lot of great films that all deserve to have Academy Awards on their shelves. We're seeing that with Hacksaw Ridge and Arrival and La La Land and Moonlight.
All right, guys, we're being summoned back in there to watch the Academy Awards some more. Keep watching. We'll be back next commercial break. Thanks, guys. All right, Viola Davis, ladies and gentlemen, from Suicide Squad. That is 2 wins for Suicide Squad.
John, she didn't win for Suicide Squad. I'm going to
But
stop you
she's
right
won
there.
for Best Supporting Actress.
She won for Fences, John, and it was finally my second win on our Oscar ballot. And what a speech! I mean, that's the takeaway. Is that yes, she earned the award, but God, what a speech! That by far is the highlight of the evening for me so far.
I don't know what was more emotional, her speech or her performance in Fences. I mean, that whole movie, she is about to cry the entire movie, and that whole speech, she was crying.
You think she's about to
Crazy
cry during
because
that movie?
she's won so much this award season. You'd think at some point she'd max out on heartfelt speeches, but like, I mean, just like oozing heart and how she thanked her parents and everybody involved. I mean, you really feel she so genuinely is like grateful that she has that. And that's the best part of this kind of ceremony.
I think what you said, though, she's had so many wins that she's now practiced. Like, she knows her speech. She was off book. She didn't have notes or anything.
I think she legitimately thought she was not going to win this tonight because like a lot of things have happened during the award season and there's momentum shifts that come and go and I still think this Best Supporting Actress was actually the most stacked category this year, that it was really a pick'em. And in our pre-show, I didn't pick Viola Davis, did I? No,
I mean,
think I did.
I was
There
always
were some
saying
that picked Naomi
Harris
Harris.
was my
Yeah.
personal
Yeah.
favorite performance just because of how haunting she was. But when you just look at the sheer amount of screen time and playing off Denzel Washington, who's nominated for Best Lead Actor, Viola Davis brought such an element to Fences, which is something that I studied in college. And to see that come to life on the big screen like I did, she totally deserves this award. It's a fantastic win.
Now, I'm going to let you know, we are watching, the whole crew are watching out there, and we're watching on a streaming station. So every once in a while, the stream goes blurry. You can still hear the audio goes really super low quality, so it all becomes pixelated. And it dropped out just for a second, came back, and I thought it was Viola Davis, or not Viola Davis.
Naomi Harris?
No,
Octavia
I
Spencer.
thought it was
Williams.
Octavia. I thought it was
Octavia-
Octavia Spencer walking up the stairs. Octavia Spencer won? What?
Yeah,
And
wow.
no, but it ended up being there. I mean, obviously a deserving win at this point. Do you think this might point anything towards or have anything to say about Denzel's chances? Because look, actors win awards because in a partnership with the directors who direct them. Does this increase anybody's thoughts that Denzel may have a chance in the Best Directing category?
I was pretty sure she was going to win it no matter what. But
Right.
regardless, I was still veering towards Denzel over Casey Affleck for that award. And I'm happy I picked Denzel at this point.
I feel like that movie, though, wasn't the best feat of directing. Acting, yes. Kind of as far as adaptation from stage to screen, not the greatest.
Yeah,
in my
directing, I don't think it has its shot. I think it's either Barry or Damien. Damien are going to be the winning names there. But I thought Denzel was going to win Best Lead Actor, which because I voted for him probably means he's not going to win. But yeah, I think that this speaks to something that Viola Davis has been right there the last 5 or 6 years. She's been a contender every year she's been in a movie, and I think this is the one that put her over the top. The Academy deservedly so recognized that.
Now, it has become a tradition in the Academy Awards to lead off the show with Best Supporting Actor. Obviously, Best Supporting Actress coming early in the show as well. There are a lot of people who have been saying over the years that they thought Best Supporting Actor and Actress should be much later in the show. I like the fact that they kind of space out what to the average film fan is the bigger categories, you know? I kind of like that they do that. But anyway, the show is going to be coming back on here again in just a second, so we're going to split back out there, get back to the show, and we'll be back next commercial break. Thanks for hanging with us, guys. We'll see you back here in just a few minutes. And we are back, and of course, so they just let it off with Best Foreign Film with The Salesman. I'd only seen one of the films. That was, and that's not the one that won.
Same here.
But the speech. We'll take the politics out of the speech for a moment. The speech I thought was moving, and it kind of highlighted for me why I love movies so much. I've talked about this a lot, but it's that stories, all of us are storytellers. Doesn't matter what nation you come from, what gender you are, what sexual preference you are, what religion you are, we all tell stories. And stories have the ability and the power to cross all of those barriers and cross all of those divides and communicate the shared human experience. And I thought listening to her read that message, for me, just kind of re-stressed why movies matter so much to somebody like me. What did you guys think about the speech?
Well said, John. I couldn't agree with you more. I unfortunately didn't see the winner, but adored the speech. I love that he decided not to come and that he prepared a statement in case he won. And I think that was a beautiful, beautiful speech.
I totally agree with you guys. I mean, I don't like to bring politics into this, so I am not going to, but I thought the speech was respectful. It was heartfelt, and I think it's very well-deserved win.
You know, John, as a storyteller of the human experience,
All right, Mark
I got to tell you.
Thank God for Ellis.
If people get squirrely when they start talking about politics, especially at somewhere like the Oscars, they say it doesn't belong. And I used to be one of those people, but I think if certain times call for certain measures and desperate times call for desperate measures, and if you feel that important about a subject, or you think that you need to get your voice heard and your voice is not allowed to be heard in the way it should be, a speech like that is so apropos. I thought it was fantastically done. That's my new favorite speech of the night. I don't think I'll be saying that again. That might take the cake for me.
Well, I mean, if Suicide Squad wins another one.
You know what, I'll tell you, by your logic, we just saw Sting play a nominated song. So Sting, by proxy, could be nominated for Zoolander 2. The way that you're thinking about it right now.
And that brings up the second part of this segment. It was the Sting song. I thought it was awesome. And you know what? I was more taken with his guitar playing than the singing as well. Beautiful song. No chance in hell it has it winning this thing, but a really, really nice song. This coming from a guy who doesn't like the fact that they perform the songs at these. Do any of you guys have a theory that maybe Sting has a chance of winning this tonight?
Oh, I personally don't think so, but it was a good performance. I actually like all the musical performances so far this year. I wasn't bored by any of them.
They have all been good. You guys have any thoughts?
Look, Sting did a fantastic job. I've just never been a Police guy. I can't get into his
Really?
voice. I can't. I do not like
Don't
Sting's
stand so
voice.
close to me.
F the Police. I can't get into it. Roxanne!
That is
it's
a very
That's
interesting
so
take.
It's
How
a
do you not
horrible
like the
song.
Police?
When I hear that guitar come in, I got to change it on the radio, and I will veer in and out of traffic to get that song off my airwaves. Hate it.
Interesting perspective. Okay, Sting. I thought it was a great performance by Sting, but no chance. I think I still think that Moana, that's my pick, might have an outside chance, but I still think La La Land is looking like it might win at least City of Stars for the best
You think
song.
City of Stars
I
will
went
win?
with the audition one. The other
too.
La La Land
Yeah.
one. I put on the red light, and I went for the other La La Land song.
All right, guys, we're going to get back to the Oscars now. We'll be back in the next commercial break. Thanks for joining us.
That scares me.
And welcome back to our Collider coverage of the Oscars 2017. We actually had 3 awards.
That's right.
Yeah. 3 awards. And we also had a pretty fantastic bit there at the
Yeah.
end.
That was
there.
amazing.
Let's talk about that first. What do you think, Schnepp?
Oh, it went off great. It was so much fun to see everybody just kind of like awestruck and like, basically being presented. And here's Meryl, here's Denzel. It was great.
Yeah, everyone taking their selfies.
I would have killed to be on that bus and walk into that room. And like that guy in the front, it's not enough just to be on the telecast and have footage for the rest of your life walking around with those people. He had to take selfies for everything. I
right.
loved it.
Yeah, Kimmel had a great line where he's like, "You don't need to take this. You're on TV.
Yeah.
It's recording already." That bit could have gone so horribly wrong and been so incredibly awkward, and it wasn't. It came off brilliant. That's a true, funny, original bit. I thought Ellen's selfie was like, it worked in some
Right.
degree.
Yeah.
I thought when they delivered pizza a couple years ago, it was like, whatever,
Yeah.
that's okay. This was really funny. It was unique. I thought it was a good moment.
Yeah. All right. Well, now let's get on to the actual awards themselves. We saw 3 awards before this commercial break. First, we had Best Animated Short, which Piper won.
Right.
What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I love Piper. I said I liked Finding Dory. I liked Piper better than I liked Finding Dory, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go against that cute bird. I didn't think Piper was going to win, so I didn't select it in my Oscar pool, which I'm currently getting my ass kicked at. But Piper, you see that bird and you see the cute way. It should win.
And then
yeah. I had nothing. I didn't know what Piper was. I was like, is it Pied Piper? I was like flipping tables because it won, but I guess it's supposed to be good. So.
Well, let's go to Best Animated Feature. This one was one that was not a lock. Even though Zootopia was the favorite, there was, people cheering for Moana, people
Right.
cheering for Kubo. I actually thought Kubo might be able to pull off, did not. Schnepp, I think you're pretty happy with the Zootopia win.
Yeah, I picked Zootopia, winner. And you know what? It was like, it's very close. I would have been happy if any of those won because all of them were great. I just felt like Zootopia's message hit me in a special way when I saw it. And I didn't even see it in the theater. I missed it and I saw it, just rented it. And I was like blown away at how amazingly meaningful and emotional it was, as well as having really fun weirdo animals, in different human costumes. Besides, that's a hard thing to pull off. So
Yeah, it's a great message movie, and don't get me wrong, it's got a nice message. It also has talking animals living in a town together, and it's adorable. Like, I was on Dennis's train. I thought Kubo should have won. I thought it was going to win, but this proves how good a DMV joke can be and how far a DMV joke can take you. Because if that sloth DMV joke is not in that movie, this movie does not win the best Oscar.
Well, they had shared that clip so early on, and I thought it was the funniest
was
thing the
so
first time
good.
I saw. And then I would see it in the theater because they'd play it ahead of the movie over and over, and it was funny every damn time. And then it was funny in the actual movie too. I would have been happy with anything that took the award in that category, but I'm extra happy because I love Zootopia, and that means I got another point in my pool.
I would argue, though, even if you took that sloth scene out, the rest of Zootopia meant a lot. Because
I
I'd
know-
seen that sloth scene multiple times. I was ready for it, but I wasn't ready for the rest of the film.
Well, the sloth clip was better than the actual trailers for Zootopia themselves. Those got me more excited about the film instead of the trailers. All right, and now we actually come to the first La La Land victory.
It's about time.
Production design. Perry, I know you've been wanting to talk about this.
I know. I'm just happy to see it having won something at this point because I don't know if we're at the point anymore where it can get even close to the record.
I think it can still tie, and
It can
we're
still
right at the
tie?
precipice where, look, we had a lot of great, we had a great first hour at the Oscars. We got a lot of different films won something. So now this could be the point when La La Land decides to make a run. And yes, I think that this is real live sports. It's not, but I think La La Land could start to notch some Oscars. I don't think it's going to get 11. I think it's going to get 6 or 7,
Yeah.
but it's starting to be a force.
Yeah, I think it's going to get, well, I already predicted that they're going to get Best Picture. It's probably going to get Best Director. I think Emma Stone's going to win. It's going to get a lot of those big ones. I think these smaller ones are not exactly what La La Land is going to win for.
My magic number was 10. I think I'm bumping it down to 8 or 9.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, 7 or 8 it seems like it's going to round in there, but it's definitely going to get Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best
Actor? I don't think
No
Best
way.
Actor.
I think so. I think it's going to lock
Whoa.
it up.
Well, just because I wasn't freshly scrubbed in time to be on the pre-show, my picks for the big awards, or the major 6, if you will, I think that Best Director is going to go to Damien Chazelle. I think Best Actress is going to go to Emma Stone. I got a feeling Moonlight wins Best Picture.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Wow.
With the upset?
I think Moonlight
Wow.
gets Best Picture, yeah.
Might be.
I'd
All
be
right.
surprised if that happened.
All right, guys, that's it for now. We'll be back after the next commercial break.
On set Schnepp.
All right, so we are
Hi.
back. Great tribute to Back to the Future.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
And that, you know, it's awesome to see Michael J. Because I remember when they first announced it, how many decades ago that he had his illness. They never thought that at this point he would still be as high functioning as he is. It's great to see him out there doing that good Canadian kid, Michael J. Fox. Best visual effects. It had to go to Jungle Book, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, in our pool, I wrote down Doctor Strange just because I love that movie so much, but I knew Jungle Book was getting it because it's a visual achievement beyond anything we've seen before.
John?
Yeah, it was a lock for Jungle Book for me, and I'm glad like the All-American Michael J. Fox came out with Seth Rogen wearing future shoes, which are now technically past shoes because
Right.
it was in 2015. So hey, where are we right now?
You're messing with the space-time continuum, Jeremy, and I don't appreciate that. First of all, I'd like to say this is the weirdest WrestleMania party I've ever been to, John. Yeah, Jungle Book had to win, but come on, Rogue One. Those AT-ACTs looked real to me.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Tarkin, and
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about, like all that kind of stuff.
See,
Rogue
Tarkin
Leader.
ruined it. Like, all the animals looked real and Tarkin looked fake.
But it was ambitious, I get the
it was
ambition.
aggressive and ambitious, but I mean, again, it's still amazing. I said this in the pre-show. The number of people who, when you still tell today, by the way, Jungle Book shot entirely on a green screen.
It's just
shot
the
entirely
kid.
on a green screen. That's it. There's never been a movie to do what this did. But now let's fast forward. Then we get into one of the most important awards of the night. Best editing. A lot of times, look, you shoot the movie, but the story is made in the editing room. I'm personally thrilled that Hacksaw Ridge took that. It's a gorgeously, beautifully edited film. Jeremy?
Absolutely. The editing trick comes when, for the first half of the movie, you have a very personal story, and then you get to the war epic, and now it's a very intense war epic that doesn't lose any of the heart. I don't know how you edit that, and that's the miracle of it, where it's like, I don't know how they did that, and that's why it's amazing. Folks, movies, Oscars.
Schnepp.
Yeah, I mean, editing is an entire other skill set, which takes entire months, possibly sometimes years, pre-production, storyboards. So, it was kind of a flip of the coin for me. I didn't know which one would win.
Someone who once threw his computer away because he couldn't understand iMovie. I got to tell you, these guys are great. And you're so right, John. Movies are made on the writing, directing, and then the editing. And that is the key. And to edit war, that is very, very hard. And you have to keep the narrative going in there, and it's well-deserved.
And that's the challenge, right, with these war films, is to keep the narrative going while showing this breathtaking action, make you feel the horror, make you feel the hope, stay focused on one character while you're showing things that are happening to 1,000 different characters at the same time. Interesting note, though, because of the win by Hacksaw Ridge, it is now official. The bets that were out there, can La La Land tie the all-time record or break the all-time record with 11 Oscars? It is now mathematically eliminated. It cannot. The most it can possibly win now is 10. That's what he has left. It's 1 for 5 now for the La La Land for its nominated category. So we'll see how many more do you think the La La Land's going to get?
Well,
Let's wrap this
remember,
up.
Fury Road last year won 6 Oscars. Mad Max
crazy.
won 6 Oscars, which is amazing. So I think La La Land will at least get 7 or 8.
I'm looking at the picture, director, and the acting. So there's going to be a few, I think, that it has a shot
I'm
for.
going 5. I think
5?
the La La Land backlash already began in the voting booth.
All right, and just once again, keep up the score. If you count Viola Davis for Suicide Squad, it's Suicide Squad 2 Academy Awards, La La Land 1. All right, we'll be back after the next commercial break.
This is a remnant from the Jungle Book special effects right here.
Look at that. Completely green screen. That dog is not real.
We're back, and we have the combination. In the words of Dark Helmet, Spaceballs did not win an Oscar, Dennis, but we saw a few more movies that did win an Oscar. What do we got?
We have live action, live action short, which was Sing, not to be confused with the
Sing Street.
Sing Street, or the animated Sing movie.
Oh, right. There was
Okay.
Sing, which won an Academy Award. Then there was Sing, because it had an exclamation point.
Yes.
Yeah. And two movies that were snubbed in the Oscars, if you think that they deserve to be snubbed, like I do with Sing Street, because I feel like that movie.
Yeah.
Sing Street
and then
was snubbed.
Also, documentary short, which White Helmet
White Helmet.
won, which was interesting just for the fact that that was a Netflix product and ended up winning the award. And I think that's Netflix's first ever Oscar win.
That's right. Streaming services starting to get some notice at the Oscars. Kimmel pointed it out at the top of the show with Amazon, and now Netflix making some noise as well.
Yeah.
And Netflix just released that trailer right now, that the new Will Smith movie, Bright.
Yeah, Bright. David Ayer's next movie.
Yeah, it looked
that
pretty
Max
awesome.
Landis wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have Manchester by the Sea still up for Best Picture, Best Actor, I think also Best Director and Best Original Screenplay. So it's still in contention for a lot of those categories.
That's right. And something else to point out is that we've been kind of tracking this all night is what are La La Land's chances since it had 14 Oscar nominations? Can it get to the record? Can it tie Ben-Hur, Titanic, and Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King? It cannot anymore. It is not going to do it. I think it's still going to get around 6 or 7 Oscars total. But one of my favorite things about this last segment was it doesn't matter what political side you're on. It really doesn't. You can have a sense of humor about this. Jimmy Kimmel tweeting the president, it ended up getting cut off weirdly. I don't know if they wanted to pull something else off with the camera, but it was funny. I thought it was really funny.
Listen,
and Jeremy Johns retweeted it. That tweet has like 125,000 retweets.
150,000 favorites in the first 3 minutes.
That's incredible. Now, will that break the all-time Twitter record, which was done at the Oscars? The Ellen DeGeneres selfie.
I think so, just because of the sheer number of people online and watching or more than before.
I got to tell you, his bits so far been stellar.
He's a very natural host, and I think that's something that he doesn't need to be the center of attention. You know, he's allowing the ceremony to flow, and he just throws in some jokes and bits here and there that are working so far, and I'm really happy to see it.
I agree. I think he's one of the better Oscar hosts we've had in a long, long time. So well done, Jimmy Fallon. That's
All
great.
right, well,
Jimmy Kimmel. Why do I say that?
Gentlemen,
whatever.
we are properly named, and we are about to kick into the big awards of the night, so we are going to take a break. We'll come back during the next commercial break and talk to you folks some more.
And we are just getting into place now. The new category that they covered was cinematography, and this was actually one of the ones that I picked, La La Land, to win. The cinematography in the film was breathtaking. Did you, and you guys have another one that you thought might have got it?
Well, I want to know why Arrival, which everyone just raves how beautiful that was. Why didn't that win, John? Is this a La La Land run-up?
No, I think it's just, this is why Oscars are the toughest things in the world to win. You can put in your life's greatest achievement, and if there's somebody else who just did it a little bit better that year, you're screwed. And while Arrival, or not Arrival, but La La Land is not in my top three films of the year, cinematography was one of the ones that I did think it kind of deserved. Did anything surprise you there, Schnepp?
No, not at all. I mean, I thought the cinematography for La La Land was unique, different, original. It was it made the entire thing of the meta musical that it is a fun thing to experience. I think that's why a lot of people who did love La La Land really loved it, was because of just the way it was shot, the way everything, just because the dance, I heard a lot of complaints about, the dance moves weren't completely finished. It's like, well, they're not supposed to be. I mean, it's a meta musical. It's not a straight up 1950s musical. It's a new style. So, I mean, for myself, it was so refreshing and different and new that I wanted to see it definitely win for cinematography and a couple of the other ones that are coming up.
Yeah.
Riley, did the right one win?
Yeah, I thought the right one won. And to jump off what you said, Schnepp, it was a meta musical. I love that you say it that way, or a love letter to those old musicals, and that cinematography really showed that. It was one of the things that I picked as well to win. I thought it deserved it. Wasn't surprised. I'm glad to see it because a lot of people were like, when is La La Land going to start winning? And this is one of the things I think it deserved to win. Maybe it's a sign for what we're going to see coming next.
It did make a lot of the west side of Los Angeles look pretty and not smell like urine. So
Exactly.
I agree with that win.
But it's also very creative how it's shot. Whether you go to the party scene with the pool and the way the cameras then goes down semi-submerged, and now the way they shot the dance numbers, the way they use color, things like that, it was really an achievement. Now, then I didn't know they would do it, but they did mean tweets.
Right.
On
Loved
it.
it.
I thought that was a great idea to do, and I thought they were funny.
You know what? They were almost too mean because the celebrities didn't seem to have the reactions I would have wanted for the Oscars.
Right.
It always reminded me of Dave Letterman's auditions for Cabin Boy bit, which was great in execution. It wasn't that great. De Niro was the best part of that for me.
De Niro one was great.
I
You
mean,
guys like these?
I think it worked. I mean, this is definitely Kimmel on the Oscars, and he's like using a lot of his bits and bringing them in. But you know what? Some of them really work well, and this one worked great. I love the mean tweets.
I love the mean tweets. I love it on the show that Kimmel does, and I love that he brought it in for the Oscars. I thought it was fun that everybody can just kind of breathe, have some fun, laugh. The celebrity reactions were great to this.
And of course, then we've got the two musical numbers from La La Land, City of Stars, and Audition. I want the Moana song to win.
Me too.
But I almost kind of felt it was unfair that those two songs, even though they're from the same movie, kind of got clumped together. Still, nice performance by John Legend. Just hearing the live performance just reaffirms my belief that How Far I'll Go from Moana should win.
Well, seeing her sing that was like made me, waver. Even though I went with La La Land, I still think La La Land's going to win. One of those two.
Why
songs.
does La La Land
Audition.
get two where Drive It Like You Stole It is sitting on the sidelines from Sing Street?
That's right.
Agreed.
And we've got the
Unbelievable.
crew members going, thank you. And just to remind you, since we're mentioning Moana again, is Ali is going to be in studio with us on Tuesday, right after Movie Talk. So keep your eyes open. Hopefully everything goes according to plan, and that'll be great. All right, guys, we're going to head back in to the Oscars. We're getting into some of the bigger awards now. Hang tight. We'll be back next commercial break. All right. It's almost dark to say, but I think my favorite, the part I look forward to the most every Oscars is probably then the In Memoriam.
I know what you mean.
But let's talk about that in a second. So we got the musical stuff: best musical score, best song. La La Land for musical score, rightfully so. La La Land for song. Injustice, I say, for Moana. Surprised either of you guys?
Just surprised at which La La Land song won. I thought it was going to be the audition, not the City of Stars. But I think either way, you would assume La La Land was going to win. As Jeremy pointed out, it's the movie musical, so it should win Best Original Song.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that La La Land was winning a lot of musical awards, but I agree with you. I thought it was going to be the other song, so that's the one I voted for. But no, not surprised at all that the musical won in musical category.
Dennis?
Yeah, not surprised at all. Yeah, I had done with the animated feature that whole maybe Moana and Zootopia would split the vote. Was wrong. Zootopia won. And so in this case, they having those two songs did not hurt La La Land at all with City of Stars winning.
And then, of course, we got to the In Memoriam. It's the most beautiful part, and what a wonderful song choice to do it. And I was really glad that I remember thinking, a few of us were talking the other day, will Bill Paxton get in there? And I thought it's probably too late to get him in there. It was really nice that they mentioned him right up top, that Jennifer Aniston actually mentioned him by name in the beginning to make sure he was included in that. And I'm not going to lie, I got a little choked up and teary-eyed when they ended it with Carrie Fisher saying, "May the Force be with you," which was great. Which of the ones stand out to you guys?
I was interested to hear you say that the In Memoriam is one of your favorite parts of the Oscars, because it's one of my favorite parts too. And I don't know what that says about me as a person, but I really look forward to it because you just remember all the people that contributed so much in the world of film, both in front of and behind the camera.
Yeah.
When I saw Kenny Baker's name and I heard the R2D2 world, that classic beat, that's when I started to get choked up a little bit, and then it just kept going from there, because all these names that you see and you forget, it's like, that's right, Gene Wilder, we had him this year and we lost him this year, and it was so tough. It was 2016 was a brutal year for celebrity deaths, and I think this In Memoriam segment was very poignant. And it ended the right way. I like seeing Debbie Reynolds and Carrie Fisher back to back. I thought that was sweet.
Yeah, that was a nice move by them to put Debbie Reynolds, then Carrie Fisher, because those two are interlocked. I think it's been really good, this segment, especially after they decided to mix the performance of the song along with the In Memoriam. Because before, they were doing... They played a song with the In Memoriam, and then someone would perform afterwards. It was just a little too much.
And it was like a weird, like popularity contest with some people would clap a lot at one, and then nobody gets applause at the other one. So I think this was a very, it was a well handled In Memoriam segment.
So we've got now La La Land starting to make a push to see if it can get its grand total up there. I think now it's sitting at 4. Academy Awards said it's 1, which I think puts it on pace to be the big winner of the night. We'll see how we get into the bigger awards for the evening. We're going to go back to the Oscars right now. We'll be back next commercial break. Well, now we're getting into some of the heavyweight categories. We had Best Original Screenplay, Best Adapted Screenplay. They were reading out the nominees for original, and I said this, if La La Land does not win this, I'm picking Moonlight will win Best Picture.
Really?
Manchester by the Sea won it. La La Land missed out on it, and then Moonlight did win Best Adapted. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that Manchester by the Sea won it.
Me too.
I thought
too.
maybe another one of the films would have got it, but what did you think about it, Mark?
It's a hell of an original screenplay, and unlike Josh McCouga, I was not knee-deep in John Campia's birthday cake, so I clearly heard you say that La La Land, if it does not win this, that Moonlight has a great shot to win Best Picture, and I agree with you, Mr. Campia, the birthday boy. I think that that is a deserved original screenplay winner, and I also think that Moonlight is adapted. I literally checked off Arrival, not having looked at the fact that Moonlight was also there, because if I thought about it for a second, I did this very hastily, I would have gotten Moonlight in there.
What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I thought La La Land would win original. I adapted for sure Moonlight. And weirdly enough, the reason it's inadapted because it was a play that was never produced, whatever the case may be. I thought La La Land would have won it simply on the fact that it was nominated for everything else in that thing. And when you as much as I don't love musicals, when you do an original screenplay with musicals, there is something to be said about the actual talent that it takes to do that.
I still think Hell or High Water should have won it.
You were yelling
I'm
for that
happy
one.
for Manchester, very happy for but I thought Hell or High Water. What did you think?
Yeah, I had Hell or High Water checked off. Taylor Sheridan's script is an incredible script. It's like dual layered. There's like you have to read between the lines what everybody's saying to each other. It's an amazing Western film noir, brought to life by incredible acting and an amazing screenplay. So I was kind of bummed that as well as Arrival didn't win. But that's, I mean, it's sort of like, it's like razor wire, you know, it's like Moonlight is an incredibly moving film. I mean, it made me cry. It's like, it's an incredible, you know, I don't want to talk about too much about without giving spoilers away, but see Moonlight.
But like with Moonlight, it was that same category: hidden figures.
That's right.
mixing my
Michael
movie
Keaton,
metaphors
ladies
now.
and
Starring
gentlemen.
Denzel Washington and Octavia Spencer.
That's right.
Hidden Fences.
That's
Hidden
right.
Figures could have easily won that. Fences could have easily won
Yeah.
that. That was a stacked one, but Moonlight does take it. And I was picking Moonlight for the upset for Best Picture. I'm feeling pretty good about that at this point. But how about that little comedy thing? Ben Affleck and Guest.
I thought it was hysterical, them playing off Matt Damon every time he tried to talk. And it was also nice for Affleck to be actually in public with all this Batman BS going on. The guy is still a human being, and he showed up at the Oscars. Amy Adams then presented, and Josh McCouga has an incredible story about Amy Adams.
Oh, are you asking me to tell this on the
In
air?
10 seconds, tell us.
She's seen me naked when I was in New York. I posed nude at an art school, and she was in the class and has drawn my
Nice.
body naked.
That's why you
now
had Josh McCouga on the show.
We've kind of seen Amy Adams naked in that dress, basically. She's naked, covered in silver.
Weirdly enough, that's the same dress they wear in Passengers, the movie.
Wow.
So we're getting now into we got director, best actor, best actress, and of course, best motion picture still to come. So we still have the possibility for, I think, Arrival now. I'm going to peg Arrival, sorry, not Arrival, La La Land at 6 Academy. I think he's going to win 2 more. I think he's going to win Emma Stone. I think he's going to win Best Director, and then I think it's going to settle at 6.
Best actress, yeah.
What did I say?
You said best director. Emma Stone did not direct. Wow, Land. Just did.
Or did she?
I'm the one drinking all night.
That's right.
I'm the one.
But
All right.
she is directing Hidden Fences.
Coming
Coming
That's
this
right.
coming next
summer.
year. Keep right. Okay, we're being waved off. The show's starting back up. We'll be back again next commercial break. Make sure you join us. All right, so that was a short one. We've got, here comes Dennis in here.
Look at the speed.
The
quickness.
nimbleness.
Yeah.
Yes.
People don't
Cat-like
understand
agility.
the nimbleness, the cat-like agility of Dennis Zen. No surprise, Damien Chazelle wins Best Director. I thought there was a little, when it won Best Screenplay, I thought maybe Jenkins might get it, but really no surprise. Any surprises?
No, I had him down on my ballot. I think he was going to win. He deserves to win. Barry Jenkins also was a fantastic. He did a fantastic job with Moonlight. But had Barry Jenkins won, I think maybe your prediction of Moonlight winning Best Picture. Are you still going with the
I'm
Moonlight
still
bet?
picking the outside. Yeah, I'm still picking the dark horse. Moonlight wins it.
Yeah, I mean, I've said all along that I think that whoever wins Best Director, the other movie between Moonlight and La La Land is going to win Best Picture. So this would indicate that Moonlight is going to win Best Picture. But let's not forget about the other three directors that Damien Chazelle thanked as well. He thanked Barry Jenkins, and he also thanked Mel and Kenneth and Denny. It's like these were great movies we got presented. This was a tough call for Best Director.
Yeah, I felt like this was the best film, so I think it's gonna not only win Best Director, which it did, but also Best Feature Film of the Year, just because it's so different and unique, and it's the Oscars, it's the cream of the crop, so you have to make those decisions. But I kind of think when you weigh it all out, I'm hoping La La Land takes it.
You are a director. If I gave you all 5 of these scripts, which one do you think would be the toughest one to pull off?
Wow.
You got to direct
Boy.
one today.
Yeesh. Honestly,
Hacksaw Ridge. I mean, for me,
I
I,
don't know
think the
about
toughest
Hacksaw
one.
Ridge is pretty
That's
tough.
almost
that's
impossible
got
to
a
make.
lot of war movies that you can look at and use reference for. I'd say La La Land because it's different. It's a musical, but it's not. It's like taking all of the aspects of a storytelling in Hollywood and making it in Hollywood and abstracting it, yet also making it play for the general public. So I think it's surreal, it's beautiful, it's unique. So that would be the one I'd pick.
Moonlight's the other one that for me, when you think is the ability to take the audience and transport them into another person's shoes that lives outside of their context. And I think a lot of people watch Moonlight for the first time and felt empathy for characters that they probably never even thought to identify with before. And on that level, Jenkins was brilliant. Gibson did a great job with Hacksaw Ridge. Denis did a great job directing. I mean, it was a great category all the way around. But in the end, the expected guy won it. Okay, so we're getting close now to Best Picture. You're sticking with La La Land?
Yes.
You're sticking with La La Land?
I'm going with Moonlight and Emma Stone and Denzel Washington.
I'm the exact same as you. And
I'm
what
sticking
about
with
you?
La La Land, and I definitely want to say that we're wrapping it up.
We're wrapping. They're starting the Oscars
we're
again. We'll
playing
be
John
back in just a
Chekhov.
bit.
Hey! Pressure.
All right, we're back, and actually going to be our last segment of the evening before we're actually going to do a post show where we'll talk about Best Picture and the highlights of the evening. So the two biggest awards besides Best Picture, we had Best Actor, Best Actress. Schnepp, any surprises there?
I was surprised that Casey Affleck won. I actually was hoping that Ryan Gosling would win to unify the La La Land trilogy of Best Director, Best Actress, and Best Actor, and then, of course, Best Picture. It's probably going to win that, too. But, hey, you know, surprise, surprise.
Perry?
I'm a little surprised and almost kind of disappointed that Casey Affleck won.
How so?
I guess I'm not surprised because obviously it was him and Denzel that were the front runners, but maybe that's just how he is in life. But if he won the Best Actor award, I wanted to see him a little excited.
Okay.
I guess that's just how he is, though. That's his personality. But
Right.
you guys know what I'm excited
Jeremy?
about here.
Yeah, I think he's a very just somber person. And as much as I've always pitched, like, well, if Emma Stone wins and Ryan Gosling has to win because they're a pair, as we're doing the votes, both the people I voted for won because everyone here, I was like, yeah, you're smarter than me, and you're saying Casey Affleck, so yeah, I'll take your word for it. But I also think Emma Stone just touched the hearts of a lot of people, especially people who vote for Academy Awards, so no surprise whatsoever that she won the Oscar for Best
In this case, I should have listened to my head because I had put Denzel Washington down to
really?
win, but I had put who should win was Casey Affleck. He actually ended up winning. Yes, his speech wasn't the best. He didn't seem very prepared to win. He almost seemed surprised. Okay, Emma Stone won Best Actress. This was also not a lock, but it wasn't as close a race as Best Actor. Perry, I'm sure you were excited about this one.
I would have been absolutely crushed. Like, I might have teared up had she not won. She deserved this so much. Like, we were talking about screenplays earlier, and it's just, this is a situation where the La La Land screenplay is great, but that role and like audition in particular, that material is what it is on screen in the final version of that feature film because of what she did with it. So she really desered that.
Schnepp?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Jeremy?
Well,
I'm out of anything to say about this category.
Yeah, I agree too. It was a tough race on both categories. So I mean, nothing was really a lock, though people could say that's more likely than the other. But I mean, I think both were deserving. Casey Affleck, prepared or not, I would give a disappointing speech too. Glad both won.
Yeah, Emma had a great speech talking about luck and opportunity. And now we're going to check out Best Picture. Remember, we're going to stop this stream right now. We're going to have a post show talking about Best Picture and everything else. So see you guys there.
Hey guys, if you like this video, click the thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It'll help you stay up to date with everything we've got going on here at Collider.